This is fun. Another Trump assassination attempt. How quickly will the media bury it? Dude, what? Okay, you want to know why this is hilarious of him to say? You are burying it. You stop talking about it immediately afterwards, idiot. The fuck do you mean, the media? I guess you are the media as well. How many times do you think Ben Shapiro talked about the Trump assassination attempt since it happened? Do you think that it is a larger percentage than CNN? Maybe. But what do you think the margin is? That's what's so stupid about this. It's like, dude, it's just, it didn't work. Like, it didn't work. You can try and act like there is, you can try and act, wait, no, he's not Russian propaganda. How dare you? Ben Shapiro never got paid by Tenet, okay? He is not Tim Pool, sir. Ben Shapiro did not get paid by Tenet, as far as we know. That would be really funny if he did. Like, I'm willing to bet that Ben Shapiro has probably talked about migrant crime significantly more times since Donald Trump got shot at than the Trump assassination. You know what I mean? Are you burying the story, Ben? No, you just understand that people don't give a fuck. They only care about what's in front of them, like the top of the hour ad break, which is coming right now at the top of the fucking hour. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay. Can I not get the ad this time? Well, you're subscribed already, the Yellow King, so you will not be getting the ad regardless. It's almost Donny o'clock. Unfortunately, CNN, it's supposed to be on right now, but CNN pushed it because obviously fucking this happened. So because of their breaking news coverage on the fake Trump assassination, which is not real, by the way, it didn't happen, okay? I guess technically it literally didn't. That's my position on the matter. I've decided. I'm going to be like, that didn't happen. It happened the first time. It was foiled. The second time didn't even happen. Not a single shot was fired. You can't tell me. It was only Secret Service that fired shots at a law-abiding American citizen who just simply had a scoped rifle and ceramic plates. You know? What is this? What did he say?
Assassination.
NBC News Lester Holt suggests that Trump and JD Vance are responsible for the assassination attempt on Trump today. Oh my God, they're being libtards, dude. They are. This is awesome. Anyway, here's the 3-minute ad break now. Dude, everyone in the Republican Party has been like nonstop chirping, and they've all become like hyperventilating libs. They're all doing like words or violence. How dare you? How dare you? Let's see what Lester Holt, my goat, said, which, by the way, the shooter also loved Lester Holt. This is why the shooter, well, he's not even a fucking shooter. This is why the assailant, the suspect, said, Lester Holt, I will ride for you. Lester Holt, I will die for you. Lester Holt, you are my hero.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town. Our Maggie Vespa is in Columbus, Ohio, with more.
Wait, why are they? They're mad that they brought up Trump's like violent rhetoric after he got almost assassinated again?
Lester, simply put, Springfield, Ohio has been inundated by threats. Over the last several days, closing government buildings, schools, hospitals. Today, effectively closing a local university campus after administrators said someone threatened a mass shooting targeting Haitians. This in light of, officials say, a false online conspiracy theory alleging Haitian immigrants in that city are eating people's pets. Something.
What?
All right, we've lost our contact with Maggie.
MRC Newsbusters, dun dun dun. They're so mad. Fucking disgusting. Real Donald Trump Jr. Yeah. I know you are, but what is Lester Holt? Fucking got him. Are you doing the CNN show? No, dog. The CNN show is not happening anymore.
Donald Trump when this gentleman was caught and stopped? I got it. Probably between 300 and 500 yards, but with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
Hello, everyone. I'm Molly Line, along with Alicia Acuna, Charlie Hurt, and Joe Concha, and welcome to the Big Weekend Show. The big story tonight: a second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. The Republican presidential candidate says he is safe and well.
Is it postponed or canceled? It's postponed. It's postponed until probably tomorrow. I don't know when they're going to do it, but they're going to slot it in again. They just had to take it out of the lineup because obviously the entire lineup shifted over to this higher order of priority news story.
There were 2 bags, a GoPro, and a long gun. Over 2 months ago, the former president survived a first assassination attempt during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The former president has responded to the shooting, writing, "There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender." Joining us now is Mark Levin, host of Life, Liberty, and Levin, and former chief of staff to Attorney General Edwin Meese in the Reagan administration. Thank you for coming on this evening. I just want to start with getting your insights on what has been a truly remarkable day.
Well, let's start this way. Thank you. Who's in charge? Who's in charge? We don't have any idea who's in charge.
Master
Who's in
Shake.
charge of protecting a presidential candidate in this country? Well, we can talk about the Secret Service, the FBI, DHS. And listen to all your great hosts with their tremendous experience. And it is fascinating to me. You know, I'm a little older. I served in the Reagan administration. I was chief of staff to Attorney General Meese. And let me tell you what would have happened in that administration. Ronald Reagan would have picked up the phone. He would have called Attorney General Meese. He would have said, "You're in charge of getting to the bottom of this, and you got 48 hours to do it." Meese, who I worked next to, he would have called the Treasury Secretary. He would have called every department that has any role in federal law enforcement. FBI reports to him. He would have dragged Christopher Wray up there. He would have brought in the U.S. Marshals. He would have brought them all in. Secret Service, Secretary of DHS. We would have been in the Situation Room with the United States Department of Justice. And Ed Meese would have said to all those gathered, "You better GD get to the bottom of this, and you have 48 hours to report to me, and I want to know how you're going to fix this. And I want to know right away how you're going to fix this. Twice on our watch? Never." Instead, we have very wise people who worked at the FBI, who worked at Secret Service, who worked in local law enforcement. Where's the Secret Service? Where's the FBI? Nobody is in charge because we have a president of the United States who's mentally incapacitated. We have a vice president of the United States who's an incompetent, way over her head.
The angrier he gets, the more he sounds like Master
Shake.
Shake.
Who just held a press event the other day about violence, and he's, what, in the witness protection program, the top 3 people in charge of law enforcement in the United States of America. 2 of them tweeted, 1 of them did nothing. Now, this isn't about tweeting. Oh, I'm so glad that President Trump is well. Well, isn't that nice? The executive branch is run by the President of the United States. Number 2, the Vice President of the United States. Federal law enforcement, ultimately, the Attorney General of the United States. And they're all AWOL. They're nowhere. So it's perfectly fine if we keep banging heads about the head of the Secret Service, the head of the FBI. These are bureaucrats mostly. Mayorkas, we know what he is. He's a complete incompetent buffoon. But where the hell is the president, the vice president who wants to be president, and the attorney general, who has done absolutely nothing to get his hands around this? Now, I'm telling you this as somebody who served at the highest level of the Department of Justice, that justice wouldn't sit back and wait for a local special agent in charge in Miami to take over. They'd be sending guys in there from Washington, D.C. And Meese would have wanted a report every hour on the damn hour. And he'd want to know what we're going to do to fix this. And I can also tell you that the first time around this would have happened had Ed Meese been the Attorney General, Reagan been the President of the United States. So this is all evidence to me when I listen to everybody, and they're all fantastic. But it's all evidence to me of Keystone Cops. Who's in charge of what? Well, it depends. This one should have done that. This should have done... No. We need a general who's in charge and says, I want to know who the hell screwed up. I want to know what the hell we're going to do to fix this next time, what resources we need. And I don't want to hear again that the Secret Service doesn't have resources. We're $5 trillion in debt with this administration. Maybe a little bit of that climate change money or money going to illegal aliens. Maybe that money could have been moved into the Secret Service. I have no idea. But we have no time to figure all that out. We have 50 days until a presidential election. Let me ask you a question. Does Joe Biden seem that concerned tonight? Where is he? Does Kamala Harris seem that concerned tonight? Well, she tweeted. Isn't that nice? I tweeted too. So what? The Attorney General of the United States, does he seem that concerned tonight?
What is she supposed to do?
They just don't.
What is she supposed to do? Fucking take up arms against, like, whoever might assassinate Trump next? Like,
that is what's happening. Every part of it, including the best parts of it, the federal law enforcement parts of it, they're now running adrift. I speak as a former person who served at the highest level of the Department of Justice.
So, Mark, Charlie Hurt here. Obviously, you're exactly right about President Biden being completely MIA and has been for a long time in the presidency. But we're sort of back at this. After the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting, there was all of this professed unity where President Biden and others talked about how they were going to lower the rhetoric. But now we're back to where you have Democrats issuing tweets saying that they're glad that the guy they called last week Hitler survived another assassination attempt. Mm-hmm. It strikes me that maybe they didn't really mean it when they said it 6 weeks ago.
Of course they don't mean it. If you watch MSNBC for about 15 minutes, the hate and the drivel and the contempt that pours out of their pores from Joy Reid and, don't get me started with a long list. CNN, so contemptible. Every time they mention Trump's name, they have this constipated look on their face, like it's unbearable. The way that you have prosecutors talk about Donald Trump, elected prosecutors and a Garland-appointed prosecutor, the things that they say in their briefs are so horrendous. What some of these judges have to say, the Democrat Party controls the culture, they control the media, they control the propaganda, they now control many of the court systems, and that's exactly what you're seeing. You're seeing a one-party monopolistic system. And people have written about this long before me who've gone through these various regimes, totalitarian regimes, their use of words, creating devil terms and angel terms. Trump's always the devil, Kamala Harris is the angel. And you can see this endless propaganda and contempt. And by the way, they hate you and me too. They've made it abundantly clear they hate at least half the country. So, of course, this contributes to the nut jobs out there and so forth. But still, I don't know how much we can do to fix that. I do know we can do something to fix the executive branch. And we got to boot these people out as fast as possible, take these agencies back. We need to fumigate them. We need to get people in there who are serious public servants and civil servants. We need to put competent people in senior positions. We need to take the FBI back. We need to take all these federal agencies, and particularly the police agencies, back. We need to take the Department of Justice back. And we can do that in the next election because right now they're completely and utterly either out of control or rudderless.
Mark, it's Joe Concha. I'm going to read a quote from Lester Holt, who was reporting on this assassination attempt. Again, the second in 64 days. Here's what he said tonight on the NBC Nightly News, and you're going to get a real kick out of this. Quote, today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance, continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, resulting in bomb threats. So in other words, it's Trump's fault that somebody tried to shoot him today because of something that was said about Springfield, Ohio, which has had an influx of thousands upon thousands of Haitian immigrants to their town. And because Trump brings that up and because J.D. Vance brings that up, therefore, that's what's leading this. I'll let you go from here because I can't believe what I just saw right now in the NBC Nightly News.
Sickening. Absolutely sickening. No, actually, I thought it was all the Democrats and their anti-Semitism. I thought it was all the Democrats and their anti-Israel. I thought it was all the Democrats hunting down Jews on universities and college campuses. I thought they were the problem. I thought it was all the illegal immigrants raping, murdering, selling into slavery, women and children. Maybe Lester Holt has a difficulty digesting facts around him. This guy is not a Haitian. In fact, the more I'm reading I'm getting information he may have been an anti-Semite. I don't know what he is. We'll get the facts. But Lester Holt doesn't have any facts.
Bro said one time the murders in Gaza has to stop, and they're immediately like, he's an anti-Semite.
The computer would melt down.
Everyone knows.
In order to try and look, let's be honest. They've been trying to turn Trump into a non-human. And that's what they've been trying to do from the beginning. They're dehumanizing him. And they've been doing this. I've written about this in 2 books.
Dude, what are you saying, dude? What are you saying? The Democrats are pussies, but like, of course, despite being pussies, they're still running a fucking campaign against Donald Trump. Okay? Every now and then, they will actively be like, Trump is bad for America, as you're supposed to. These guys are so used to bullying the fucking liberals that they straight up are like, if you're running against the Republican after he got shot at, you're a bad person. You should just let him win. It's like, are you insane? Like, what is this argument? What are you saying? Oh, where's the humanity? Yeah, dude, they're running a fucking campaign. It's insane, dude.
Cops who's in charge of what?
Mark, it's Alicia Acuna, and thank you so much for being here. You know, as you know, the acting U.S. Secret Service Director, Ronald Rowe, gave an update to senators on Thursday on the internal investigation from the July 13th assassination attempt. And
yeah, Republicans be like, these pedophile demons who have actually brought in every black and brown person from the third world to come and rape our beautiful white daughters, okay, who stole the election, are dehumanizing our president. Instead of just saying, sorry, you win this round, sir. Go ahead. It's like, yeah, I don't care, man. I don't care. Like, I don't personally care. And thank God, even the fucking most annoying baby shit, mealy-mouthed, feckless, cowardly liberals don't give a shit either. Because, like, at this point, that's the last thing that they could do. You know what I mean? That's like the last thing that they could still pull on, to be like, you know what? In the interest of fairness, to preserve American democracy, we're just going to let Donald Trump have this election because he got shot at. I wouldn't put it past them. Okay? I wouldn't put it past them. But thank God that they're not. Okay? You should do a stream with big boob and breast. Facts.
But I want people to remember about Thomas Paine. I want them to remember about Paul Revere. People say, well, what can I do? You know, I'm a janitor, I'm an electrician. You can do a hell of a lot. You are the Paul Reveres and you are the Thomas Paines. You need to talk to 10 people. You need to talk to 15 people. You need to make sure you not only vote early, you get people vote early. We can't rely on political parties to get out the vote. We have to get out the vote. It's now. We have 50 days to try and fix this. Right now.
well, Mark, for all of us, thank you so much for being here tonight and sharing your perspective. We appreciate it. Mark Levin.
God bless. Thank you.
And right now, the FBI is collecting evidence outside of Trump National Golf Club, and that's where Dana Marie McNichol is live tonight. Dana Marie. Okay, so we're still waiting for Dana Marie McNichol to get up there and her information. But Paul, I want to go to you actually, if we can, just to continue this conversation. Some of the points that Mark Levin was making, he just really hammered on this idea of leadership, because Americans want leadership right now, and they're not seeing it.
It beggars belief that we still have not gotten a press conference from Alejandro Mayorkas relative to the failures of the Secret Service. What we should have gotten is, first of all, Mayorkas very early in the game after Butler, but then subsequent to that, there should have been a press conference about how the service under him is being rebuilt and the measures that were taken to fix what was clearly a flaw. It seems that only in our current regime do these sort of flaws seem to fall by the wayside. They're on the cutting room floor. Nobody seems to care. And think about the signal it sends to our adversaries. If we could get two apparent clowns who are low level to manage to almost do what they almost did here, not only in Butler, but down in Florida, what does it say to the IRGC in Iran? What does it say to some of our more radicalized enemies around the world? What it says is America's not what they used to be. We don't have to worry about these guys. They don't even seem to be able to protect one of their main VIPs, who may very well be the next president. It is a diminution of American stature, American status, and the fact that we can't do this. If you're sitting where, let's say, the Chinese or the Russians are, you got to say, we don't have to worry about these guys.
Would you be worried, Paul, to my point earlier, and I asked Mark this, I asked Jason this as well, that a 20-year-old outflanked the entire Secret Service?
Bro had to weave in, and IRGC mentioned, yeah, they love Iran. So did he take the shot or not? Because they're acting like the crank emptied the clip. No, dude, they did not. They are trying to massage the fucking narrative to a way, into a situation where it kind of feels like there was a real threat against Donald Trump. And this time there obviously wasn't, unlike the last time. He didn't even get a shot off. He didn't even get a fucking shot off, dude. Yeah, he got shot at by Secret Service. He ran away. Would-be shooter arrested. Yeah, I mean, even in the Chiron, it fucking says would-be shooter arrested. GoPro and gun found outside of Trump International Golf Club. To be fair, it's still an assassination attempt. I know, but they're lying about the events that took place because no shot was fired in his vicinity. They're making it seem like this guy literally grazed Trump again when obviously he didn't. And that's the funny part about this, because they also then have to complain about something, and they're basically like, oh, well, what about the Secret Service? Like, they didn't do a good job. It's like, what do you mean? They fucking literally foiled an assassination attempt. What the fuck do you want them to do? And therein lies the problem. You can't cut a narrative off of this when the actual the actual things that happened are not even as like eye-catching as the last time this occurred. And the last time this occurred, nobody gave a shit. Okay? So, like, it's funny to me that they are doing... It's funny to me that they're doing the exact same thing again. I tweeted, love that the last time Trump almost got domed, the GOP message was these monstrous Dems who export illegals from the third world to rape your kids still are campaigning against our president with mean words. And it didn't move the needle even a little bit, and they're doing it again. It's not going to fucking work. It didn't work the last time, and Trump almost got killed, man. They hate him. We hate him. I hate him. I'm a Joe Brandon voter. I'm writing in for Biden. I'm writing in Biden, okay? And I still hate Donald Trump, okay? I hate the motherfucker. Of course I hate the motherfucker. Look at him, dude. Look at the past fucking week of stories. Damn, look at this guy. Warning about Ryan Ruth. He is not and never has been associated with the International Legion or the Ukrainian Armed Forces at all. He's not and never has been a Legion recruiter. He is misrepresenting himself and lying to many people. Ruth is currently posting on Facebook about getting Afghanistan citizens into the International Legion. He told the New York Times in 2023 that he wanted to get soldiers in the Ukraine illegally. Ryan Ruth has many public Facebook posts about getting soldiers in the Ukraine in 2023 and 2024. He has no authority to act on behalf of Ukraine and ignores laws about visas. Ruth is either human trafficking, scamming people, or attempting to break as many countries' laws as he can to try to smuggle people into Ukraine to fight. This is unethical, unprofessional, and unacceptable. This was back in 2024 in June, I think. Okay. Other issues. Ruth has posted soldiers' phone numbers on websites without permission, giving out recruiters' phone numbers to people without permission, manipulates people into breaking laws. Avoid any contact with Ruth as he misrepresents what he can legally do. I served in the International Legion for 2 years, and I've told Ruth many times since 2022 that he's not helping, and what he's doing is illegally. He doesn't listen. To add to this, he was previously attempted to recruit from Syria and Iraq. When he was asked to stop, he wouldn't. He was trying to come up with entry routes and was trying to organize visas for people categorically said won't be allowed into the army. It's remarkable how disparate the media footprints of the Butler shooter versus Ruth were. Yeah. Oh, we were watching Ben Shapiro cry about this fucking shooting, and I really want to hear his reaction actually, but I got so invested in some other shit. Does Brace know this man? This man is like Bizarro Brace, dude. He's like reverse Brace. He's if Brace was just bad and insane. Okay.
Assassination attempt again this afternoon. This happened apparently over at his Florida.
Is Ryan Ruth trans? No, dumbass. What the fuck? Are conservatives saying he's trans now? Is that what they're doing? I mean, it's not.
This happened a little bit earlier Sunday afternoon, sometime before the 2 p.m. Eastern hour. Apparently, Trump is fine. Trump is in good spirits. According to Senator Lindsey Graham, he released an email saying that he is safe and well. Quote, there were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I want you to hear this first. I am safe and well. According to the email, nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. I will always love you for supporting me. Apparently, a suspect, this is according to CNN, who authorities believe is connected to Sunday's incident at Trump International Golf Course, has been taken into custody at this point. A vehicle was stopped. An intersection, a section of Interstate 95 near State Route 714 in Martin County is shut down. Apparently, the allegation was that somebody actually climbed over the wall at the golf club, and a long gun was recovered at the scene. Secret Service apparently did return fire. The Secret Service said it was working with the Palm Beach.
Yeah, they nuked his account, by the way, for the record, because the American government is afraid that you're gonna find out the truth about him. Okay. Yeah.
Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office to investigate a protective incident involving former President Donald Trump. Again, the campaign has said that he is safe. So that's all we know at this point. We don't know the identity of the shooter. We don't know exactly what gun was used. We don't know anything like that. There are a lot of rumors floating around. And until all of that is confirmed, I really don't want to actually say what it was that happened. The one thing that we do know, apparently, is that the shooter was targeting President Trump. This makes the second assassination attempt against the former president of the United States and Republican nominee for president in about 8 weeks, which is insane, obviously. This is unprecedented in modern American history. This many attempts on a candidate for higher office this close together. And that does say something about the environment in which we now live. First of all, it says, does anyone even remember the first assassination attempt? I mean, those of us who are on the right do, because it's...
Does anyone even stop spreading misinfo? Your stream says he was shot at. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's an early... Well, there's a lot of question marks.
It's become sort of an iconic video and photo presentation.
It was an iconic video and photo. Nobody cares about it. It's like, yeah, man, maybe that should have been your first indication to recognize that just people fucking hate him, dude. People fucking hate him. People hate him. You can't keep pumping a narrative when people are just not even remotely interested in it, you know?
President Trump nearly being hit in the head by a bullet, somebody behind him being killed.
Leftists are the real haters? I mean, yeah.
Him getting up and shaking his fist and saying, fight. That became an iconic photo of President Trump. But it's been largely memory hold by the media. In the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, it was not even mentioned once by the moderators any time in that debate. It's basically been treated as though it never happened. Now, we all know that if somebody had
What could be a mention of the Trump attempted assassination from the moderators? Like, what could they say? Madam Vice President, do you consider the Trump attempted assassination photo to be iconic? Yes or no? Madam Vice President, this is a yes or no question. Like what are you saying? Like what how could that? He's just so, oh God. He's given up, dude. Ben, you've given up. Okay? You fucking given up, dog. What kind of argument are you making in here? Like, what are you saying? Like, he's not even thinking this through, okay? At least back in the day, he put a little bit more goddamn effort into these fucking stupid-ass videos.
attempted to shoot Joe Biden in the head, that would have been not only the biggest story in America that day, but for all the other days, because January 6th has now lasted for 4.
It could have easily been said by the moderators. No. When you're conducting a presidential debate, you have a bunch of obvious issues that you're going to get to. Explain to me how you would have brought up the Trump attempted assassination as a moderator for ABC, as a journalist, as a political commentator, as a news anchor. How would you bring that up? Like, why would you bring that up? Number one. And how would you bring that up? It's not even a thing Trump talks about. Like, due to the attempted assassination of a former president's life, what does this say about the political climate we live in now? Okay, but that's not about Trump being fucking shot in the ear. You know that, right? And also, the counter to that is not favoring Donald Trump, because the story doesn't favor Donald Trump. Because immediately, Kamala Harris goes, it's completely unacceptable, as I've said time and time again. And you know what's also unacceptable? The fact that Americans can just purchase a gun with ease without any background checks. Boom, it's over. That's not a good question to ask in a fucking debate when you got environmental issues, you got abortion, you got immigration, you got the economy. Do you understand? There is a finite amount of time to ask questions. And in that finite amount of time, they're not going to fucking waste it. They're not going to waste it with some dumb shit. Oh, what do you think about Trump getting almost assassinated? Is a stupid fucking question.
4 long years. If somebody had actually come within millimeters of killing President Biden, then presumably that would have been the biggest story in America for months on end. It would have deeply and dramatically shaped.
Gun control issues are very important, to be fair. Wait, what do you mean? They did bring up gun control. There was a school shooting that happened right before the debate. Yeah, they brought up gun control, a huge issue.
The 2024 election. The same thing holds true if, God forbid, somebody had attempted to shoot, say, Kamala Harris. This would be the second time in 8 weeks that somebody tried to shoot Donald Trump. And again, this will be buried by Wednesday. How long do you think this story is actually going to last? Now, they say we still don't know the motive of the original shooter. It seems to me the motive was pretty clear, that he wanted to shoot Donald Trump in the head. But there's all sorts of mysterious circumstances surrounding the original shooter. Who was he? We know his identity. We don't know much about his motive. He apparently had encrypted phones and all the rest. It's all very mysterious and all very weird. We don't know anything about this shooter as of yet. We do know that there were foreign sources attempting to create the conditions for the assassination of President Trump, particularly Iran. There were open reports by the FBI. And
Ben, you saw the fucking shooter, dog. Like, you think he was an Iranian agent? Like, honestly, you saw the former shooter, not this one. But this one is fucking really stupid too. You think the registered Republican from Butler was a fucking Iranian agent? Like, what are you, stupid? Yeah, the white registered Republican who was 20 years old was an Iranian assassin, dude. And now this time around, the former Trump Republican who voted for him in 2016 is a registered Iranian agent.
And the CIA, that the Iranians were attempting to facilitate the murder of President Trump. So it wouldn't be a total tremendous shock if it turns out that somebody had taken them up on that offer. Again, this is all speculative. There's no way to know at this point. The one thing that we do know, again, is that if the situation were reversed, it would be the center of the news.
They did bring up gun control. That's why Kamala says she's gadded up. You don't remember? Kamala Harris was like, I stay strapped, baby. I always keep that thing on me. That's what she said.
For the foreseeable future. Why? Because the entire narrative would be that the right had polarized American politics to the extent that it was now considered within the norm to take a shot at a president of the United States or a presidential candidate from the other party.
Can we please just blow up the entire Middle East off the face of the planet, please? Like, imagine how many issues would be solved. Like, seriously, think about it. Not even in a mean way, like, really think about it. I can't believe John Bolton has a fucking sock account, dude. That's crazy. Like, dog, go shave your mustache. Like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing in here, dude? Why is John Bolton in here? That's weird. This makes no sense. Following since 9/11. To be fair, that could be literally any State Department employee. It's like welcome back, Georgie. Welcome back, George H.W. Bush. Welcome back, George W. Bush. Welcome back, Henry Kissinger. Any number of different neocons. It could be Dick Cheney's burner.
So the shoe is on the other foot now. How is it that the entire Democratic Party can center on the idea that Donald Trump is Orange Hitler, that he's the worst person who has ever lived, he's the worst person in the universe, a danger, a threat to American democracy? Two separate people attempt to shoot him 2 separate times within 8 weeks. And that has nothing to do with the climate in the country. Again, I'm not blaming any of the people who say these sorts of things for the actual shooting. The person who's responsible is the shooter. It also happens to be the case, however, that in a really volatile climate, if you continue to increase the temperature, if you continue over and over to increase that temperature, you are going to get worse and worse.
It's pretty funny that they have this kind of smoke for Donald Trump, but then they like don't think about it as far as like Haitian immigrants that they are regularly fucking trying to kill by making up shit about them. That's really interesting. Words are violence, you say. And it like doesn't make sense for Trump because the Democrats never talk about Trump with the actual fucking terms that he deserves. Like Donald Trump has 100% advocated for violence against his political enemies. He has. Okay? He has. He's done it. He's done it time and time again. Donald Trump has also gone beyond that in terms of like advocating for violence against like migrants, advocating for violence against like different subsects of the American population. He does it all the time. He's motivated multiple mass shooters who have named him by name. Multiple mass shooters during his presidency said that they love Donald Trump or they used to love Donald Trump and now they are even more radical than Donald Trump, like the synagogue shooter. And it's really interesting that we just don't think about that at all in this equation and that the real violence actually is saying Trump is a meanie bobini. If I had a fan, okay, if I had as a political commentator a fan of mine go out and actively do an act of terrorism in Canada and then mention me by name to the authorities as my point of radicalization, I'd be very careful about the words or violence narrative. Now, of course, this didn't happen to me. This happened to Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro had a fan literally do this. Yeah, his name is Alexandre Bisonnier, who named Ben Shapiro by name in the investigations. Ben is trying to turn around. Multiple fans of Ben and Tim Pool have done mass shootings and stuff, but this one straight up said his name. Okay? Said his videos caused him to become like anti-Islam, anti-Muslim. You can't really point to what the Democrats say in general in terms of like advocacy for violence. There was a guy who worked with Bernie Sanders, who was a Bernie Sanders door knocker. He got an AR-15 and went to the congressional baseball game. He shot a bunch of congresspersons at the congressional baseball game. He shot Steve Scalise right in the ass and dick. Steve Scalise now has to piss into a bag for the rest of his life. Okay? Do you understand why nobody was like Bernie Sanders' violent rhetoric was responsible for this? Because Bernie Sanders has never said a goddamn thing that is violent remotely. Okay? That's the reason. Straight up. They definitely did try to launch that narrative. It didn't work. My point is, for Ben, he says violent shit on a regular basis. He does blood libel on a regular basis against marginalized communities, against people that don't deserve it, people that cause no harm to others, and people who are oftentimes in underserved communities with no mechanism of pushback, no way to defend themselves adequately. And yet, when those guys are victim to hate crimes, led by Ben Shapiro's fan base, led by people who are directly in Ben Shapiro's audience, okay? Then words are not violence. What are you talking about? I'm just doing political commentary. Anybody could do that. But when Democrats turn around and say Trump is a bad person, he's a meanie bobini, and he's a dictator, he said it himself, he wants to be a dictator for one day, that's unacceptable. You can't fucking even repeat Donald Trump's words back because that might cause people to shoot him. That's crazy. You can't make this fucking argument. Yeah, Quebec City mosque shooters scoured Twitter for Trump right-wing figures before attack. Bissonnette also appears to have obsessively visited Twitter accounts of Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Fox News personalities David Duke, the former leader of the KKK, Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist Mike Cernovich, Richard Spencer, white nationalist and senior White House advisor Kellyanne Conway. Bissonnette checked in on the Twitter account of Ben Shapiro, the editor-in-chief of the conservative news site Daily Wire, 93 times in the month leading up to the shooting. Yeah, I had this tweet pulled up earlier. When you're hot, lowlifes really shoot at you, and they try hitting from every angle. Never let the bastards get you down. He's right. Why does J.D. Vance follow the Trump shooter? He doesn't, but that's really funny that you said that.
Situations. Raising that temperature does in fact become a sin when you know that things are this bad. And so it behoove everybody on the left side of the aisle to take down the temperature a few notches, to stop pretending that Donald Trump is a grave threat to the Republic. And by the way, they don't even believe that.
Wait, what the fuck are you saying? Trump says that about the Democrats all the time too, dumbass. Like, that's just politics. What are you saying? It's so funny that this guy is literally like, listen, dude, it's completely unacceptable to run against the Republican Party. Okay? Like, that's all he's saying. Make no mistake. He is openly saying if the president gets shot at, you can't run against him. You have to drop. It is unacceptable to say you disagree with a man if he had attempted assassinations on him.
Last week, Joe Biden put on a MAGA hat. He put on a Trump 2024 hat. Would he do that if he actually thought that the
It's not just politics. We should stop normalizing this. What? Normalizing what? Two fucking political candidates? Dude, the extreme centrism jumped out and slapped me in the face. He's like, no, you're right. Both candidates should actually stop running against one another and hold hands. Which low-key isn't like that far off at this point, with like a couple exceptions. You know, the Democrats are doing that actively. So you might be a Democrat.
Trump 2024 hat were the equivalent of a swastika? Of course he would not. Would he really do that if he thought that Donald Trump was going to facilitate a tyrannical takeover of the country and end our democracy? Of course not. It's all nonsense. It's all been done for political gain. So again, we don't have all the details at this point. We're still...
Yeah, but when Trump fucking lies about Haitians eating cats and dogs, that's not for political gain. And that isn't violent inherently. And isn't it begging for violence upon those people? It's actually good and normal, and you should say it more. I'm Ben Shapiro. Fucking bitch.